Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Wednesday episode of the No Contest Wrestling Podcast. I am the heel that you love to hate, O'Shea Jackson Jr., a.k.a. Petty Guerrero.
Hey, yo, it's me. It's the TOO, JIGG2, Jiggy, TJ Jefferson. What up, man?
What's going on, man? The day before Turkey Day.
Let's talk about Thanksgiving. I'm ready. I'm ready for all of it. The turkey, the ham, the mashed potatoes, the gravy, the dressing. We don't do stuffing. We do dressing, you know, just all of it. The sweet potatoes, just, can't wait.
Ham.
Can't wait. Yeah, I'm down with it.
Ham?
Ham, that's right.
Nah.
Yeah, I know you don't dig on swine.
Oh, bro, hey,
but
assalamu alaikum, please hold the bacon.
That's all right. More from me. All right. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, but you know, we got a nice episode today. You know,
we're gonna keep them long today. I don't think.
No. I mean, we know everybody want to enjoy their day. Whenever you are listening to this, we appreciate you listening to it.
Thanks for rocking with us.
Yes,
man.
we will have Big Bronson Reed on the No Contest Wrestling Podcast today, and actually a chill guy. You know,
I guess.
Me and him have spoken on Twitter for a few years now. Chill dude. Hopefully he's a little less aggressive than he usually is on Raw.
Yeah, I got a knot in my sneaker. I better.
Oh, you know what?
Well, yeah, he ain't gonna say nothing about it.
I don't know, man.
I will be cool, man, because he's already in the TV. What's he gonna do? What's he gonna take our sneakers? Like, come on.
I don't know, man. I kind of like my shoes. Yeah. You know, we'll see. We'll see how the interview go. You just never know with these guys. I mean, we are professionals. you know, nobody's caught us off guard. You know, I'm not sending any shots.
We got a kendo stick.
That's right. Yo, I got to start bringing mine. I mean,
who's gonna mess with us with a kendo stick?
Right. By the way, for those who don't know, on the Rich Eisen show, he keeps the kendo stick by him.
Oh yeah. Because you never know when somebody might want to try to start something.
Chris Brock.
You know what I'm saying? So
Big tuna.
Stop it.
By the way, thank you to everybody. I really love that everybody. There's people sprinkling that big tuna in the comments, bro. Hashtag big tuna.
Keep that up.
Y'all gonna respect this man.
There's gonna be a barbershop window behind you one day, man. Keep it up.
Big tuna.
Keep it up.
Well,
you know what I mean? Brutus Beefcake gonna be sitting there like, what you just do?
Listen, bro.
All right.
That's a cool name.
Brutus Beefcake?
No, Big Tuna.
You're an idiot.
No disrespect. Right. No disrespect to Beefcake.
You know what I want to do real quick, because we got Bronson. He's popping out here in like 3 minutes, I think. Zoom's getting ready. You know what I wanted to do real quick? Because traditionally Thanksgiving back in the day meant Survivor Series, and it meant Survivor Series teams, traditional 5-on-5. We haven't even talked about this, so I know we don't really have a list made. So this is going to be top of the dome real quick. Let's just do this. Let's pick a traditional 5-on-5 men's and women's all-time Survivor Series team. I should have thought about this earlier. We could have done some research. There's 1,000 wrestlers to pick from. So there's obviously going to be 1,000 that we don't mention, but we're just going 5. I'll go ahead and I'll give you the first pick. Who would you want in your men's traditional Survivor Series team before Bronson Reed gets here?
Somebody who scares the hell out of most people that he's in the ring with.
Okay.
I gotta go Brock Lesnar. I'm so surprised I get to see him in any sort of war games alone. Actually, I can't even remember if I've ever seen Brock Lesnar tag anybody.
Well, you know, back in the day, him and Shelton Benjamin were the Minnesota Stretching Crew, and I always wanted them to have a match on the main roster together, and they didn't really. But
I can't even think about ever seeing like Brock Lesnar holding the ropes for a tag.
You got to go back to old OVW wrestling back in the day.
Yeah,
all right, so we're doing all time, I guess.
Okay.
All right, so a traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series match could take some time, right? So I need a wrestler with just unmatched cardio. I'm going to take Kurt Angle on that one right there.
Solid to combat that Brock for sure.
Yeah,
100%. Okay. I gotta go.
Like I said, this would have been better maybe had we planned, but I like this. This is impromptu.
It's fine. It's fine. I gotta go plot armor. You know, it's hard. It's hard to eliminate this guy for sure. I'm gonna let you know right now. I gotta go Texas Rattlesnake. I gotta put Texas Rattlesnake. tagging him with Brock, it just seems like I got a lot of plot armor on my side. The crowd is going to be going ballistic. I don't know how well they'll get along, but we're doing this off the top of the dome.
Yeah, and plus there's so many wrestlers. I guess we got to keep it just WWE, or else I'll go start picking.
Yeah, your ass will pick.
Yeah, I'll pick Kobashi. Okay, so I got Kurt, you got Brock, you got Steve. So I got to have someone in there who can combat those two, man. You know what? I'm going to make this pick just to make you mad. Give me my tribal chief.
Oh,
Roman
that's
Reigns.
hateful.
Yes, sir.
That is kind of gross.
Sir.
Okay. All right. Do I want to do another powerhouse? I mean, like, I don't want to have too many of those dudes.
I want you to, because when the lungs start to burn, that muscle kind of makes it hard to keep going. Right. So keep picking powerhouses. That's what I want you to do.
No, because I gotta go. If I want somebody who can go and like for quite some time, give me Latino Heat. Give me Eddie Guerrero, bro.
Man,
give me Eddie Guerrero, man.
Okay, I'm not mad at Guerrero. That. You know what? Eddie's gonna lie, cheat, and steal his way.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about
that. Didn't even think about that. Man, I really wish we'd have put some thought into this earlier.
Right.
You know what? I got Kurt.
They're gonna kill us in the comments, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, but they got to understand this is just off the dome.
Yeah.
I got Kurt. I got Roman. Give me. Give me John Cena.
Oh,
I mean, why not?
You want to talk about plot armor? Come on.
Give me John Cena.
All right, that's solid.
Like in my squad, right?
Yeah, that
takes me back to the Eddie Guerrero and John Cena having a parking lot fight. Remember, for the U.S. title, where the cars were all in the circle, just beating the crap out of each other while everybody's standing around. I wonder what the rental bill for that was, because a lot of windshields got smashed that night.
100%. Okay. I feel like we're not.
There's so many people we're forgetting.
Yeah.
So I mean,
just so I can keep size while still having technical wrestling, I'm gonna go Bret. I'm gonna go Bret the Hitman Hart.
Okay.
And then my last one is
going
to be.
How you going last? It's my turn.
Well, I'm saying my last one.
Okay.
I already have it in mind.
All right, bet.
God.
So I'm trying to just get ahead of you.
Man, all right.
I'm stalling because I ain't got nobody right now. Okay. All right. So I got Kurt Angle. I got Roman Reigns. I got John Cena. You know what? I'm just going to go star-studded on this piece.
All right. Yeah. Come on. Yep, exactly. All right. Yep, that's where I was going to go next.
Rock.
That's where I was going to go next.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, do I want somebody who? No. This is traditional. There's DQ. All right. So, because Cactus Jack was for sure about to be in that fucking team, but all right. Your plot armor is pretty strong right now. You know what? Just so I can have another tank at the end of it, because I got some guys that can go in the middle, but if you're taking Brock out, I still need somebody who's formidable. Let me get the Animal Batista.
Dang it, Dave Batista. All right,
bro, Rock and Cena is crazy.
Let me see. I got Kurt Angle, Roman Reigns, John Cena, The Rock. All right, this guy.
Easy plot.
Here's this guy. He thinks he's cute and he knows he's sexy. He's got the moves. That drives all the girls wild. Yeah. He's just a sexy boy.
I want to see, him and Eddie.
Let's go, Shawn Michaels.
Him and Eddie going at it for a while. That'd be crazy.
All right, so I'm sure we'll post this, and I'm sure the internet will tell us we're crazy without noticing that we didn't even give ourselves time to think about this.
Listen.
All right, so that's it. Traditional Survivor Series men's team for O'Shea: Brock Lesnar, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Eddie Guerrero, Bret Hart, and the Animal Batista. While I have Kurt Angle, Roman Reigns, John Cena, The Rock, and Shawn Michaels. And if you ask me this tomorrow, I'd probably give you 5 different answers.
Listen,
but it is what it is.
Not one Hulk Hogan.
Stop.
That's crazy.
Let's go women. I gave you the first pick.
Yeah, you go ahead.
So women, Survivor Series, traditional. I need someone, man, someone who I can count on from bell to bell. There's so many to choose from.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that'd almost be disrespectful if I didn't go with my GOAT, right? So,
I mean, yeah, you know.
So that's Asuka. I got Asuka as my pick for the women.
Now, no. I mean, my GOAT has a terrible pay-per-view record, so I can't pick her. Shout out to Sasha Banks. You're Sasha Banks for this. Yeah. I know you're Mercedes Moné. I gotta go. If I need somebody, I'm gonna go plot armor early.
Okay.
I'm going plot armor early, and I'm going Rhea Ripley. I'm going Rhea. Got to.
Kind of figured that.
Plot armor, baby. They're not gonna make Rhea lose.
China.
All right. Solid. Oh, I gotta go. I mean, you know, I gotta go Bianca. I gotta go Bianca, bro. Because, like, you know, plot armor, baby. They don't like to make them lose a lot.
All right, I'm going to pick someone who I was a fan of, who I don't think gets enough love. That's what we kind of do here. We like to shine lights on people who don't always get enough love, right? So just right off the top, I'm putting together a team. I'm not saying these are the 5 best. I'm just saying I feel like this works well on the team. Give me Beth Phoenix, the Glamazon.
Yeah.
Always a big Beth Phoenix fan.
Let me get the 14-time champion, Charlotte Flair.
Man, of course.
You know, I know I'm doing a lot of current. Relax. It's coming.
This one, you know why not? Because a lot of people on this list can claim to be the best, right? But only one person says she's the best, and it's not just her saying it. It's Sports Illustrated saying it. Yep. It's Bleacher Report saying it. I mean, No Contest Wrestling may have said it at one point. Give me the man, Becky Lynch.
Solid. Okay. All right. You know what? Nostalgia purposes. Do I want to go that way? Yeah, man. Let me get Lita. Let me get Lita, man. I need somebody who might take somebody out for at least a little bit. You know, a nice hurricane to the outside takes people out for at least 5-6 minutes.
You know, I know what I said when I was building my men's squad, that I wanted, you know, some cardio, some versatility. I think with this women, I just want to go in here and smash, just Hulk smash, right? So she didn't have a long career in WWE.
Oh my God.
But she was there.
You talking about Awesome? I know where this is going.
In WWE, she was known as Karma.
Okay.
Everyone else knows her as Awesome Kong.
Yeah. Karma.
I'm taking her on my team.
Okay. Well, to combat that, I'm gonna need some sort of something that's simply irresistible. Ooh. You know, I'm gonna need Nia Jax.
God, okay. Well,
I'm gonna need Nia Jax.
I gave you a barrier that you needed to.
Yeah, bro. Because I was not going to go anything that could combat her. I'll tell you that right now.
All right. So for your women's Survivor Series team, you have Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, Lita, and Nia Jax.
Yeah.
While I have Asuka, Chyna, Beth Phoenix, Becky Lynch, and Karma.
Yeah, if you didn't say Karma, I was going to go for Care.
So
I was going to go for Care, but there's no way. Yeah, I need Nia Jax.
Yeah. So anyway, like I said, that's just our traditional Survivor Series teams. That was just off the top of the head. We didn't put this together beforehand. We know obviously there's hundreds of people we forgot, but in the comments, I'm sure you'll tell us. Give us your squads, man. Traditional 5-on-5 men's and women's. Let us know who you got. But I think I'm seeing the sign that it's time.
Hey, you know what time it is. All right. And our next guest, he is the Tim Tam tyrant, the Vegemite villain, Auszilla, the Lord Wave God, whatever you want to call him.
Jonah Rock.
Give it up for our man Bronson Reed.
Yes, sir.
What's up,
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you for doing this with us.
Just getting ready for war games,
Yeah, absolutely, man. Everybody is pumped. It's definitely one of the heaviest packed war games or Survivor Series in general that I've ever seen. What mentally, what goes into that? I know you've had some before, but going into this one of this magnitude, where's your head at right now?
It's in my mindset. I'm always trying to make sure if I'm doing something again for another time, you're always trying to up the ante and make it as good as possible and try and outdo the other war games, which is always hard because I feel like every year it's just getting more and more, and this year, I think the biggest deal is just who's on each side, On our side, you obviously have myself and Bron Breakker, the Vision, teaming with Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, and the Beast, Brock Lesnar, which is such a stacked team. But then you look at the other side as well, and you have Cody, Punk, Roman, 3 future Hall of Famers with arguably the greatest tag team of all time in the Usos. So it's just a stacked match going into War Games.
Absolutely. I know everybody on this side is excited and all of the listeners that we have on the No Contest Wrestling podcast as well. But how we usually start interviews, man, basically when did you get bit by the wrestling bug? What was it that led you on this journey to become Big Bronson Reed?
I've been a wrestling fan my whole life. So I always tell people my earliest memories of life are actually sitting down and watching wrestling in my living room. So I was 2-3 years old watching, the first WrestleManias and Royal Rumbles and stuff like that with my uncle. So I had an uncle that was big into wrestling. And at the time my mother, my uncle, and myself all lived with my grandparents. We all lived in one house. So we were all gathered around watching wrestling pretty much most weekends because he would go to the local Blockbuster and hire tapes. So that influenced me from a young age. And then when Attitude Era hit, I was like 10 years old. So like Stone Cold was such a big thing for me. Still a huge fan. And then through my teenage years, I discovered independent wrestling back home in Australia and indie wrestling here in the States and Japanese wrestling. I just dived deep into as much wrestling as I could consume. I became obsessed with it. And then as soon as I finished high school, I went and started training and became a local indie wrestler and then went from there.
All right, so you in January of 2019, you got signed, right? You got signed to WWE's NXT. And what was that like, man, coming from Australia, having to go to Florida? Like, what kind of life changes did you have to make? Well, what were some of the challenges that you may have had? Well, and also, was there someone that you kind of leaned on once you got here that kind of helped you transition?
Yeah, for sure. It wasn't a huge change. Like Australia and the USA are sort of similar, both English speaking countries and stuff like that. It was more so leaving family and friends from back home. And I packed all my life up into 2 suitcases and moved to the other side of the world. Obviously knowing I was going to be with NXT and WWE, but it is still like a big gamble to be like, okay, let's go give this a shot. And I moved all the way to obviously Florida. I'm still here now. I'm here in Orlando. And I was lucky enough at the time, there was a wrestler by the name of Shane Haste who wrestles in New Japan at the moment. He was actually signed to WWE. And funnily enough, the man that coached me in pro wrestling when I started, when I was 18 years old, his name is Hartley Jackson. He was actually coaching at the PC at the same time. So I was able to lean on those two, like 2 guys that I sort of grew up in the business with before WWE happened to be at NXT at the same time. So I was lucky I was able to lean on them those first 6 months or so and then find my own groove.
Nice. Now, back when you first started this journey, a question that we love to get an answer on is, what was your welcome to wrestling moment? Whether that was a bump that might have took the wind out you a little bit, or
made you question your thought?
That let you
life?
know that you were headed that path.
I know straight away. Where I trained in Adelaide, South Australia, was run by a guy that I mentioned, Hartley Jackson, and he was trained by Antonio Inoki. So he was trained in the strong style of professional wrestling in Japan, and that's sort of what got me interested at first. I always was intending to be just a pro wrestler in Japan. I didn't even know WWE was attainable for guys in Australia. I thought, this might be my main goal, and then WWE was far-fetched to me until it became a reality. But we did tryouts, and you did a tryout, and if you were tough enough to make it through, that's when he would train you. But in the tryout, we did forearms, just, like getting an elbow, forearm to the face, neck area. And I remember he hit me with a forearm and instantly smashed one of my teeth, and it fell out of my mouth.
Oh.
And so this was just the tryout to get into to be able to be able to train to become a pro wrestler. So that was my introduction to wrestling straight away. I was like, okay, this is for real. So I better grit my teeth and be ready. So, but I was hooked straight away.
Now, you're a big dude. I'm sure you're well aware. Is there a move that you don't like taking?
I mean, the bigger I've gotten and the older I've gotten, I'm trying my best to not land on my upper neck area. When I was younger, I weighed a little less. I've always been a big guy. So, even as a teenager, I was 260, 270 pounds. And I remember taking German suplexes and stuff like that. And you do land on your upper neck area, and years and years of doing that. Luckily, I'm safe. I don't have any neck injuries or anything like that. But now, being over 300 pounds, I try to avoid taking those sort of bumps, high angle German suplexes or anything like that.
Well, at least you got the right guy on your team, so you don't have to worry about taking
yes
those Germans.
Yes, we have Brock on our side. He can German suplex and take everyone else to Suplex City. Same as Bron Breakker is my tag partner. If he's going to throw people around, he's throwing them around, and I'm just on the side with him.
All right, I might as well, we like to stay current here, Bronson Reed, so I might as well talk to you about Monday night. That wasn't even my question until just now. But you guys are surrounding the ring. You're ready to hit the ring on Monday, and Brock's music hits, and he comes out, and he does his Brock Lesnar thing, and then we found out that cowboy boots on maybe a steel ramp isn't the best move, right? So did you see it? Because it looked like Drew's back was turned, so I don't think Drew saw it. But you saw it, and then if you saw it, what went through your mind at that moment?
So, knowing Brock Lesnar as I do, I've only known him for a short amount of time. He is a very intense individual. He is the beast. That is him. And I saw him slip and somehow back roll, get straight back to his feet. And in my mind, I was like, he's either going to laugh this off, which he seemed to do. He laughed it off. We got to business, or he's going to be very angry, and all those guys in the ring are going to pay for it. So I did see it, but I just let it slide, and I made sure to get back to business.
All right. So I normally I probably wouldn't ask this, but since we've had Unreal and we've gotten that curtain peeled back a little bit, would you mind telling us what was said when you guys got back to Gorilla? Did anyone bring that up? Was anyone too afraid to not mention it? Like, did somebody say anything?
I think Brock himself said it. He walked through the curtains and he had slipped on something. So I don't know who wrestled beforehand, because Drew said in his entrance he almost slipped. So I don't know if someone had wet their hair or oil or something was out there on that entranceway. So, I don't think it fazed him too much. He's the sort of individual, if that was someone else and they were to slip, they'd probably fall on their ass and that'd be it, and people wouldn't engage anymore from there. It'd be hard to get the people back. But because it's Brock Lesnar, he almost back rolled and got straight back to his feet, took his cowboy hat off, and you knew he's going to still beat the hell out of people. So if it was going to happen to anyone, at least it was him.
I think it's also cool. He kind of owned it at the moment.
Yeah.
He laughed because there's nothing more
Yes.
frightening than a man who's smiling at you and you know you're about to get your ass kicked and he's looking like he's about to go to Disneyland, right?
Yeah.
Like so he puts the hat on breaker and he's smiling and it's just like, oh, this is going to be even worse than I thought.
Yes, 100%.
Now, I would how would I say this? Because we had your man, we had Braun Breaker on, and
He's one of our earliest guests.
yeah, we we like to call you guys, the most aggressive law firm there is, Braun and Bronson, and
We're here for you.
Yes.
exactly.
And not in a good way.
But another, we talked to him a little bit, and he's in the video games. He was in the old school Nintendo 64 type video games. So I casually call you guys the Super Smash Brothers, Braun and Braun. All right. Are you into gaming at all?
That's pretty good.
Are you into gaming at all? Is that any of your forte in there?
Yeah, so for me, I'm sort of similar. I'm more an old school dude. I'm a little older than Bron, so stuff for me is like Super Nintendo and Sega Mega Drive, and then I got into the 64s and PlayStation and stuff like that. But I don't really do anything current. I know a lot of the guys backstage, you play Madden or Tekken or stuff like that. But for me, it's like arcade stuff. I actually have. You can see in the background, I don't even can see it very well, but there's a huge arcade machine here, which is WrestleFest themed. And,
Nice.
That's sort of my stuff, like those old school wrestling games.
So you mentioned the Mega Drive, and, fans of No Contest will know where this is going. For those who don't know, the Mega Drive is the other name for the Sega Genesis. And not to put you on the spot, Don, but we had Javon Evans on. And Javon Evans, 21 years old, called it the second Genesis. Has no idea what that system is.
Didn't know.
And we almost shut down the show right then and there. So to hear you bring up the Mega Drive, it hits close to home. So we appreciate that very much so.
Of course, yeah. You gotta be playing some Streets of Rage. That's what I was all about.
Absolutely.
That sort of stuff. I mean, I get it. Javon is 21, but you got to do some history lessons and learn your stuff. You know what I mean? Like I always went back and looked at things. I played the Atari and stuff that was like older than what my generation was. I learned that different like arcade systems in different arcades that I played from years ago. Like I'd still go play that stuff and know what it's called. So yeah, I don't know about the what he's on.
Now, in April of 21, we'll take you back to NXT here. You wrestled Johnny Gargano, and you became the new NXT North American champion. And also, you became the first Australian and non-American wrestler to hold this title. What was it like? Another question we like to ask of champions. Just tell us about that night, man, when you're able to take that belt home and realize that you're a champion in the WWE.
Yeah, it was a big deal for me. It almost felt like a culmination of all my work on the independents to get to that point. I was wrestling for 12 years before I got signed with WWE, and it was always a goal of mine to not only get signed with WWE but become a champion. And that was the night where it happened. And I remember this is when Triple H was still in charge of NXT Black and Gold era. It was a lot of what you did was based on what you could do in the ring. It was all around the matches. And I think me and Johnny had a hell of a match. My wife was there to see it happen. And I just remember, I think the ending shot is there's pyro going off behind me. And I'm down, crouched down, looking at this championship crying. I just couldn't help it. It was just overwhelming sense of emotion. I'm crying with this championship, and I can hear like referees and stuff say, "Stand up and hold the title! Stand up and hold the title! Stand up!" Like they're yelling at me to try and get this last shot, obviously on camera. And I'm too invested in the moment to even realize what they're saying. So, but it was a very, very cool moment.
Bronson, I'm glad you brought that up. I don't think we've ever asked anybody this. The haters, the wrestling haters will say, well, you kind of knew or whatever. You know what I mean? Something that a non-wrestling fan would say. What you just said made me think, even though you know going in what the outcome's going to be, you said you were still crying. Can you just explain to people that there's still emotion with this, man? This is, like you said, this is a culmination of your life's work. And even though, it whatever, how you got it, the fact is you still got it and it still means something. I don't think people understand that who aren't wrestling fans.
Yeah. It's still like, as much as you can say things are predetermined and stuff like that, you still got to remember that winning a championship means that the people behind the scenes have faith in you to be that champion. And when you're someone like me who's followed this their whole life, like, and you've dreamt of these moments, like, it's surreal to have these moments come true. And I'm still waiting on, main roster. I said I need some gold on the main roster, so that's coming, and I'm sure I'll have a flood of emotions if that happens. But I gotta stay, I'm a bad guy now, so it's gonna be a bit of a different experience. But yeah, it's really hard to explain to people that see it from that point of view, that like, but it's they know that it's going to happen, and it's like, well, we don't necessarily. We might know that night we're becoming champion, or we might know that week we're becoming champion. But I liken it to an actor winning a Golden Globe or winning an Academy Award. You're getting praise for the work that you've done.
I say, to wrestling fans, no explanation is needed, right? Mm-hmm. And if you're not a wrestling fan, then no explanation is going to be good enough. So it's like you either get it or you don't get it.
That's true.
And we get it.
Yeah, being from Australia, by the way, shout out to Adelaide. I've been to Adelaide. Super chill.
Super
chill.
That's my hometown.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Adelaide. Actually had a girl in Adelaide. But so peep game. Don't get myself in trouble. Now, one thing that we've learned is the Australians, man, you guys are countrymen. Like you love Australia. You love to rep Australia. And I know that back a while ago, there was an opportunity for you to perform in Australia for Elimination Chamber, and you fell a little short. For those who don't remember, you put out a tweet. You put out a tweet saying that it had been a dream of yours, and you felt like you failed your people. And for you to get past that, I want to know what was going through your mind when you kind of find out that you're not going to be able to perform to Australia, to get to the point where you're taking down the tribal chief. Like, when you get to go from, the lowest of lows to being able to take out one of the greatest of all time in front of your countrymen. Talk to us about that low and that high.
Yeah, I think for me, originally, so I was about to have my firstborn daughter, which is a big deal. But there was a chance that I was going to be able to go to Australia, do the chamber, and then come home, and then still obviously be there for her birth. And originally there was plans of me versus Seth Rollins, which was a big deal. He was the champion at the time, and then he got a knee injury, which then derailed everything. Mm-hmm. And then I was told, okay, you're not going to be on the show. We're going to save you for something else. Obviously, you have your daughter's birth coming up, like focus on that. And I was very upset at first because, again, another dream of mine was when I joined WWE to be able to go back home and tour with WWE in front of all my friends and family, and they get to see me on like a big show. But things work out and things are for the best. I was very blessed that I was actually able to be home and see my daughter be born. Once I had that moment and I saw my daughter Deja be born, I was like, I'm glad I'm nowhere else than where I need to be right now. So I was glad I was there for that. And wrestlers know our schedules are crazy. Sometimes we do miss these big moments, family moments. So I'm very blessed that I was able to see that. And then as time went on, it almost worked out better because then I got to return to Australia and go against Roman Reigns, who undoubtedly the face of WWE for the last decade. Yeah. And not only did I face him in my home country, I beat him. So things sometimes happen for a reason, and I'm glad I got to redeem that story and go back to Australia and thief over chief.
Oh, see, there you go. See, hold on. Man. Now you done said, let me just.
I'm just going
to take these off. Ain't about to get me talking about that.
Yeah, get them ready.
Take these off here.
Put them to the side. You got a nice chain on as well, though. That's
relax. Tuck your chain, man. Tuck that. So, Debo coming.
As I was saying, Bronson. Not only, as a wrestling fan, not only did you, get to pin Chief, you got to pin Okada. You know, like that's a nice
Yes.
1-2 to have under your belt. Not a lot of people on earth, let alone the business, get to say that they even went toe to toe with them.
I think he and Finn Balor are only two that I can think of that own a dub over those two.
Yeah,
What's it like to have that under your belt?
I saw that stat. Yeah, it's crazy. You know, I saw that stat recently. It's me and Finn are the only two to ever do that. And it's a cool achievement because I also beat Okada at like his peak. You know, he was unbeatable, untouchable that time in New Japan. And so I beat him in the G1 tournament as well, like a big deal. And then the same with Roman Reigns. Like he's at his peak right now. Like every time he makes his entrance, people lose their mind. It's a big deal. And not only did I beat him, but I beat him in the Australian street fight. So it's a cool little thing to have on your pro wrestling resume for sure.
Oh, doubt. So I got to touch back on this sneakers thing, man.
It's just rude.
How,
honestly.
like, Roman Reigns, right, is, I think we all agree, top of the food chain, right? If this was a movie set, he'd be number one on the call sheet.
Yeah.
First of all, for you to lay out Roman Reigns is one thing. How many people get to do that, right? But then you did something that we only see in the streets. You
Get his shoes.
How?
Yeah.
Where did this come from? Like, this isn't just like Joe Blow. Do you know what I mean? This is Roman Reigns, dog. And you took not one time, but 2 times.
You know how cold that ramp was walking back
Roman
up?
Reigns shoes. Where did this? How did this come about? Could you let me know how this happened?
You know, this is something I always try to. I want to make what I do in the ring appealing to as many people as possible, you know, as broad as possible. And I think I'm one of those wrestlers, you could throw me in the 80s, 90s, 2000s right now, and I work in any generation. But I'm always thinking of those things that are outside of the box as well that people can relate to. And I remember, you know, I grew up with not a whole lot of money and in a bit of a bad neighborhood in Adelaide in South Australia. And I remember people getting their nice shoes stolen all the time or taken from them in school and stuff like that. So I was like, if we could do something like that in WWE, then people are going to get it. And I thought I would have a little, you know, just a little section of the fans that watched WWE on TV would understand what I was doing, understand, you know, the reference to Debo or taking someone's kicks. But it blew up. You know, now I go to like meet and greets and photo opportunities, and there's kids with shoes around their neck that would have no clue about that sort of stuff or street culture or sneaker culture at all. And it's sort of cool that I sort of became synonymous with stealing someone's shoes. And not only that, like you said, it was Roman Reigns, you know, top dog of the business. I feel like taking his shoes sort of humanizes him. I said it's sort of like making Superman Clark Kent.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you still got him?
No, so I was going to keep him. You know, I was walking around with the Shula Fala with both of them. And
By the way,
in
Shula
Paris,
is amazing
after yes, another thing that I came up with on the spot. But he cut the Shula Fowler apart and he threw it into the crowd in Paris. So there's some lucky fans in Paris that have them now.
Yeah, he autographed them, and I put on Twitter. I'm like, whoever caught these, please post a picture. I need to see,
man.
You know. But yeah, that right there is legendary, dog. Like, because top guys like that just don't get touched in that way. Dog.
Exactly.
Took his shoes. Bronson Reed. That was so disrespectful.
It's a little kid somewhere.
I also have my eyes. I have my eyes on some other people's things within the company. I'm not going to say what, but you know, I don't think that that's the last thing you'll see me take from someone. I'm definitely going to be a repeat offender.
Oh, wow.
That's right.
Ain't nothing nobody can do about it.
That's a good.
What you going to do?
That's a good
why I hit mine.
So when you whenever we have somebody on here who grew up as a fan, we know that you watched, we know that you have moments in your head, but we like to ask, when was a time as a fan where wrestling broke your heart? An example I always use is when I saw Hulk Hogan run over The Rock when he was in an ambulance. It broke my heart, dude. I was crushed like for a week straight, just like ruined. So was there a time as a fan where wrestling broke your heart?
Yeah, I think for me, I remember being super young and I was such a fan of The Undertaker. And I remember there was a show where all the heels get him and put him into the casket, and then they pretty much kill him off. They bury him and he's gone.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, they've gotten rid of the dead man. Like, I thought that was it. I was like, he's never coming back. That's it. And obviously he comes back later. You can't stop the dead man. The urn comes out, Paul Bearer comes out, he's back. But I remember being a kid being so sad about it, like watching, being like, oh no, what's going to happen? So probably that was probably my first one. And then I had much more actual heartbreaking moments working within the industry.
and everyone, we've got big Bronson Reed here on NCW, and make sure to check out Survivor Series.
Absolutely.
This Saturday, November 29th, streaming live on the ESPN app and Netflix as he takes on the team of, look at that, man. You got Cody Rhodes, WWE champion, World Heavyweight champion CM Punk, the Usos and the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns taking on your squad, the Vision, Bronson Reed, you, Braun Breaker, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, and that man Brock Lesnar. It's going to be downright ugly at the Survivor Series, Let's ask him about the bar fight.
Oh, we got to. Our number one question.
I think we're almost running out of time with you here, so want to get some of our good ones out here to you.
Our number one question is a situation-based question. You're in a bar. There's 50 dudes in that bar. I need you to pick a team of you and 4 other superstars to make sure that Big Bronson Reed is getting out of that bar and into the car.
And it can be superstars of any era, Bronson Reed. Yeah, I mean,
any era.
I'm going to say this. Bronson Reed's a big man. I got a film where I see some big dogs. Let's make it like 100 dudes. Because 50,
I think I could.
50 don't seem like enough right now,
Okay, so 4 other guys with me.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think 100 guys. We can do it any era. I'm gonna pick my tag partner right now, Braun Breaker, 100%, because I know he's always down. He's always got my back. So that I know no matter what, he's going to be fighting by my side. Number 2, someone else that's on my War Games team, and that's Brock Lesnar.
That makes sense.
Because
come on,
he might be one of the scariest individuals I've ever met. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not very intimidated by anyone. Like, I've been in this business for a long time. I've been around a lot of fighters, but that's an intimidating man.
This is coming from an intimidating man.
He is the beast.
Right.
Yes, yeah. So I'm going to put Brock Lesnar on there. There's 2. I'm going to do Haku.
Yeah,
because I've heard some crazy stories about that man, and Haku in his prime, I think, had ripped out some eyeballs and broken some jaws. So I'm gonna choose him. And then number 4, you know what? Let's say New Jack.
Oh,
because I know some stories. I know some stories. Yeah. Paul Heyman himself has told me some stories about New Jack that I'm like, okay, he's a man that knows how to handle himself.
Can you share any of them?
I'd have him on my squad as well. Probably not.
Didn't think so. Not New Jack. So Bronson, one thing I like to ask sometimes is I like to ask somebody like, who would they like to have a WrestleMania main event with throughout time, right? But I decided I want to flip it, and I just want to give you my TJ's top 5 guys that I would love to see you have a main event with throughout the years. Okay. So you just tell me what you think about my list. Number 5, we have a tsunami, right? So that means another natural disaster would make perfect sense. So I got earthquake coming in at number 5, just another big man. Yeah. This is going to be a couple hoss fights here, but yeah, like you and earthquake, man. I don't think Earthquake really, I don't think people give him the props that he deserves, because that dude was low key so good and so dominant, and he was just in that Hogan era that it's almost like you're being
so agile.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, he's someone that like as a kid, I didn't really appreciate him as much as I should have. And then later on in life, as I'm doing sort of the things I'm doing as a big man attacking people, I'd go back and watch Quake do the stuff that he did and the way that he laid out Hogan and stuff. And he was devastating. Like he was such a big individual, but also fast and a former sumo champion. Like he was legit. So that'd be a cool match.
Yeah. Okay. Number 4, I got Bam Bam Bigelow.
Oh yeah.
Any thoughts on Bam Bam? Were you a fan of his?
one of my all-time favorites, actually. So the first action figure I had done by WWE and Mattel is actually me in my Bam Bam inspired gear that I wore in NXT. So he's someone that I've always been a big fan of, and yeah, that'd just be electric.
That'd be a great one. Now for this one, we're going to take you to the Hall of Pain. I need to see you and Mark Henry at some point in time just throw down.
Yeah.
Godzilla versus Godzilla, man.
Yeah, he's someone that I'm lucky enough, he's given me some guidance, and obviously I think he sees a little bit of himself in me and the stuff that I'm doing. But yeah, that'd be crazy fight, and world's strongest man. Like, I feel like I'd maybe be able to get him on the agility aspect and work around him a bit quicker, but he gets those hands on you. I've seen him bend those frying pans.
Yeah.
And remember, he was a man who was dunking at his size too. So that's an athlete right there.
Oh yeah.
No, I threw this guy in because I just don't feel like when we do lists, all wrestling fans do lists. And I feel like this man, I don't see his name enough. And for as great as he was, I just feel like a lot of younger kids don't know how great this guy was. So I'm throwing his name out there to see what you think, and that's Terry Bam Bam Gordy.
Oh, you're preaching to the choir. I'm a huge Terry Gordy fan. So again, he's someone I go back. I still watch now. Actually, the other day I was on the plane watching a Terry Gordy match.
Oh, word.
He's one of those big men, like in the vein of a Stan Hansen, who's deceptively fast, has a gas tank that doesn't end. He can wrestle for 30 minutes. He's over 300 pounds, and he's going as fast as he was at the start of the match to the end. So he's someone that, I definitely look up to, and I think, hell of a hoss fight.
Oh, no doubt. Shout out. And then at number one, you got to go to the mountaintop when it talks the big man. So 7 feet, 4 inches tall, 500 pounds. Andre the Giant has a posse. This is a guy. You got to topple this big man, Bronson.
Yeah, I'm again huge Andre the Giant fan. I have I think I probably can't see it, but there's some artwork of Andre in the background and stuff. So I don't know. I'd love to do that match, but I feel like he was so unbeatable. Like, how do you even beat Andre the Giant? There's so much lore around him. I can only maybe name a handful of people that have beat him in those last 10 years of his career. So again, anything like that's like big box office type stuff, wrestling Andre the Giant.
All right, so you down with that list? I don't have to worry about my
great list.
Okay, cool.
Great list. There's probably only one other person I'd throw in there as far as like hoss fights, and it's someone that I still watch a lot of now, and again a little underappreciated, and that's Vader, Big Van Vader.
Yeah,
he
honestly,
was one of my all-time favorites.
I had Vader on my list to start with, and then I replaced him with Earthquake just because Vader,
the name.
The name. Yeah. Even though Vader's another guy who I don't think, even though he does get mentioned sometimes, I don't think he gets enough.
Especially
love.
with the athleticism.
Yeah. So Vader was on there. I just decided the tsunami against the Earthquake would be,
yeah. You have to put the natural disaster stuff in there. And I pick Earthquake over Typhoon. Nothing against him, but
That's a shock master right there.
Now, I got what people don't know, Bronson Reed has some of the greatest tweets of all time. And this is the last tweet I have of you up here. It was at the beginning of the year, January 1st.
I think I might know what it is.
Can we see that with Dom? Dom, do we have that one? Should be the first one I sent you. It should say 023. I was 2023. I was edging. 2024. I was stroking. 2025. I'm bussing on y'all. So how do I form this question? Is 2025 going the way that you assumed it would go for you?
First of all, you got to give that a little pause.
Yeah. Hey yo.
Well. I think if you look at my 2025, of course I'm busting. Look at it. Look at what I've done in the time, especially those first 6 months. I was out with an injury. I've been able to do all this stuff in this small amount of time. So I don't even know what I'm going to tweet about 2026 because how do I top that?
That's a go.
I'll say something.
Right?
I'll say something on purpose.
That's one of those tweets that should be on a t-shirt.
I've had a few people, obviously, like people like the tweets that I have fun with it. I've offended a few people, but you know what?
That's what the territory.
What is she supposed to do?
I'm Australian. I get away with it. You can't offend Australians, so I'm going to say whatever I want.
Bronson, you got a few more minutes? Or are you good right now?
Yeah. We're good. Yeah.
Okay, just let us know.
Yeah. I can go a few more minutes for sure.
You spoke of Adelaide, Australia.
Yeah.
Right. And
Solid.
there is, a fairly big star on the women's side that's from there.
Oh, yes.
So tell me about Rhea Ripley, right? Did you have any knowledge of her back at home? And what do you feel, or how do you feel about her putting, the spotlight on where you come from with her stardom right now?
Yeah, I have me and Rhea are good friends. She actually, I tell people this story all the time, that she actually was a fan that used to come and watch me when I was just a local independent wrestler in Adelaide. Oh. And I remember meeting her after the fact when she first started wrestling, started training, and I was sort of at the point in my career where I was wrestling in Japan and doing more stuff overseas, so I wasn't always in the local scene as much. And I remember meeting her and her saying like, oh, I'm a big fan. I used to come to all these shows. I remember you doing this match and blah, blah, blah. And I just remember at the time, even when she had only been a few months in training and she wrestled on this same show that I was wrestling on, I remember watching her and being like, oh, she's going to be a big deal. I knew then and there, I was like, she's going to be in WWE and she's going to be a big deal. And being able to watch her career and then also be in WWE with her, we're both from, little old Adelaide, which is a small town, and be able to talk to each other. And, it's good to have someone that you sort of are very familiar with and have, a similar backstory to as well to talk to. So I think she's undoubtedly maybe the greatest of all time when it comes to women's wrestling. I'm being a little biased, but she's definitely on top of that mountain. Yeah. So I've known her for a long time, and she's incredible.
Now, I know you're a big fan of Japanese wrestling, New Japan, and everything that they have over there. AJ Styles we had on the show, and he mentioned how, there is a bit of a WWE fan bubble. There's a large majority of the fans that are unaware of things like New Japan, mostly because they might not even know where to look for it, So I wanted to ask you personally, as somebody who's been a fan for as long as you have, to kind of educate some of our listeners and viewers. Give us 5 matches from New Japan that are must-see TV, that they have to look up if they want to know what it's all about.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna say Japanese wrestling in general, because I was a huge All Japan Pro Wrestling fan as well, and then Pro Wrestling Noah, who I worked with, and New Japan. I would say something like quintessential stuff. You got to find Antonio Inoki versus Billy Robinson, which is old New Japan. This has to be probably 70s. It was such a clash of styles. You have Antonio Inoki, who's, one of the greatest of all time. And when it comes to Japanese wrestling, that's who you think of. Most people think of him. And he wrestled Billy Robinson, who's a British wrestler who's so technical. I think it goes for almost an hour, if I remember, or it might even go a full hour. But I think it's on. This is the thing. I tell people all the time, I get a little frustrated. In my era, when I was a teenager, trying to find these things was so hard. Like you had to find tape trading or people that had DVDs, or then the internet, there was like torrents and stuff, but it was still very hard to find Japanese wrestling. Whereas now you can go on YouTube and type something in and it might be on there. So I say, don't be lazy, track it down. So Antonio Inoki versus Billy Robinson for sure. Kenta Kobashi versus Stan Hansen in All Japan. One of my all-time favorite matches. I love both those guys. Super hard-hitting. Kenta Kobashi is on my Mount Rushmore of pro wrestling. Is one of my favorites of all time. So I'd say that. Another Kenta Kobashi match against Mitsuhara Misawa. Misawa was one of the leaders of Pro Wrestling Noah and All Japan in the 90s, and they just killed it. So I'd say find their match in All Japan, and then find their match in Pro Wrestling Noah as well. 2 more. I'm going to say Kenta versus Naomichi Marufuji. I think it's around 2005, 2006. These guys were both juniors at the time, so smaller wrestlers, but pretty much changed the wrestling game. If you look at someone like Marufuji, he's been so emulated by so many different people. So many of his moves have been taken by so many other wrestlers. The code breaker was his, the sliced bread was his, the drive-by that Roman Reigns does on the apron with the drop kick, that was his first. Like he has influenced wrestling so much, and same as Kenta. Look, the go to sleep. That was Kenta's thing. Like, so I say hunt down that match, and then for a fifth and final one, you might as well go watch Bronson Reed versus Okada. You might as well. Jonah at the time versus Okada, and you get to see you got to see me beat him up and pin him. Why not?
Yeah, absolutely.
There's one I got to throw in there. By the way, I subscribe to New Japan World. I've had a subscription to New Japan World for like the last 10 years, so it's like I get it specifically for Wrestle Kingdom, and then any other time I like to just go back, dig through the crates and find some dope ones. And I'll throw in there one for you, Okada. I'll say Okada versus Shibata from 2017. It was the match that Shibata, and I've mentioned this on the pod before, he headbutted Okada. The blood just starts dripping, and then he had hematoma or something like with his brain that literally almost killed him. After the match. So that was one of the greatest matches I'd ever seen. It was April of 2017, if I'm not mistaken.
It's incredible. I agree with you. That match is very incredible. That's what sort of made me a fan of Okada. I wasn't, not that I didn't like his stuff or anything like that, but I watched that match and I was like, oh wow, this guy is incredible. And I've always been a fan of Shibata and his style of wrestling. It's very hard hitting, very, very much like the Inoki style. So yeah, I feel like for people that have never watched Japanese wrestling, they see something like that, or something like another one for you, Kenta Kobashi versus Kensuke Sasaki. They have a chop battle where they chop each other for almost 3 minutes straight. Like, you see that stuff for the first time and you're not used to seeing that sort of stuff in a ring, it blows your mind.
Amazing. And, just another thing, I spoke Wrestle Kingdom, and so I know this is coming up, so I'm just going to pop that out there. Starting this Friday, November the 28th at 9 a.m. Eastern, fans can be the first in line to secure individual event tickets to WrestleMania. Saturday and WrestleMania Sunday, exclusively at Ticketmaster. WrestleMania 42 takes place April the 18th, and that's a Saturday, as you know, going 2 days, and Sunday, April 19th, at Allegiant Stadium, home of the Raiders. Yep. And you were talking about winning gold, and I got a feeling that if you don't, I'm not a predictor of things, but I'm just saying, I predict at some point, if this man isn't walking into WrestleMania with some gold, he'll be walking out of WrestleMania with some type of gold. Singles, tag team, I don't know, but I feel like it's coming for you at the biggest show of them all.
Absolutely, man.
I appreciate that. So somehow, this is a big deal for me, and touch wood, nothing happens from now until WrestleMania, but I still have not made my WrestleMania debut. Somehow I've always been off the card or injured or fired at one point. So
we just want to talk about the positives here.
This is the year where the Thief makes his debut and hits a tsunami in front of that big crowd at WrestleMania.
Yeah, man, a Thief in Vegas. That's not bad at all.
Oceans 14, 15, 16.
No.
Speaking of tsunami, real quick, one thing I love, Shay, you and I both love, is when you do the tsunami, right? You add a little extra with the arm. Was that a conscious thing?
Yeah.
Was that a conscious thing, or did you just do it, notice you did it, and was like, I'm going to keep doing that? Or was it like part of the whole thing? Because I love it, because it makes it seem like you're flying and you're getting some extra, oomph on the tsunami there.
Yeah. It was something that in NXT, I just, when I started using the tsunami in NXT as my finish, I just happened to do it a few times to try and, when I'm up there, I try and put as much energy into it as possible to make it look as impactful as possible. And trust me, the guys will tell me it is. But I did it a few times, and then some of the guys backstage started saying like, oh, I love that, you do this when you're in the air and you're moving in the air like that. So so many people were saying it to me backstage that I was like, well, I'm going to keep it. And I also like that it just makes my splash a little different to everyone else's. I'm doing that arm movement. I come off 1 foot off the top rope rather than 2. It just makes the tsunami its own little unique thing.
Absolutely. Well, it's one of the most feared moves in the business right now. I don't know about you, TJ, but my feet are cold.
Well,
I mean, this
I think it might be time to let Bronson.
Good thing I wore good socks today. I mean, I was even thinking that my Air Alphas might get jacked.
One thing, I'm a girl dad, so I got to listen to a lot in the car, bro. And I know you know about Sabrina Carpenter, you know about Chaperone. So, do you know about Cat's Eye? Because my daughter has been putting me on Cat's Eye, and they bang.
No, I don't.
Listen, I'll send you something. I'll send you something. But I know that gets you going when you're working out. So I'll send you some Cat's Eye, bro. But yeah, just had to let you know that because I know about your music. I know about your music, bro. But
yeah, I have a very broad taste when it comes to music. So I'll throw it on. I'm always listening to something. So I'll throw it on. I'll give it a spin.
All right, absolutely. Bronson Reed, this has been great, bro. We got to get you on. We got to get you in studio one of these days.
When you're in LA.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like we like to say, man, your family now, you'll know where the spare key is kept. Help yourself in, raid the fridge, do whatever you want to do, man.
Yeah, man. Ladies and gentlemen.
All right, done.
Wave God, Bronson Reed.
Yes, sir. I saw a tweet. What is your issue with Thanksgiving, man? It's delicious,
You don't like
Brandy Rhodes said,
I mean,
Brandy Rhodes said she wishes your turkey would be dry after you beat up her husband Cody, and then you said you don't even celebrate. Like, what you do with Thanksgiving? It's delicious.
I mean, I don't, I am from Australia. I never celebrated Thanksgiving until I got here. So, but I will say the food is great. And I've had friends and people that I've made friends with here in America that invite me over and I get to eat and stuff. And I'm actually, tomorrow, I'm making a sweet potato pie. So
man,
we're gonna see how that goes. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna dabble in the food of Thanksgiving because these people are inviting me. I might as well bring something. I'll make something of myself, and I chose sweet potato pie. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not a hater on Thanksgiving. I think I'm more of a hater of Cody. So I just threw that tweet out there to sort of get a jab at him.
Yeah, he's more of a Halloween guy. Halloween is his thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, big time. Big Halloween guy. Yeah.
See, my family, we don't do the pumpkin pie. We're all about the sweet potato pie. So I loved hearing that, man. So I guess you don't really hate Thanksgiving. It's just Cody, and now it makes sense.
It's all right.
Yeah. Cody better watch himself.
Enjoy your Thanksgiving, man, and much health to you this weekend. At War Games, we'll be watching, and we'll see the results.
Yes, sir.
All right, appreciate it, guys.
All right, he's gone, right?
Yeah, boy.
Get my shoes back on.
I just found these.
It's not a game. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't think he's. Like I said, he can't do anything through the camera. But
I don't know that.
I don't know that. Anyway, what a dope interview with Bronson Reed, man. Like. Oh, yeah, you tucked the chain. That's right.
Yeah, come on. Yeah. My grandmama gave me this chain. But, yes, thank you to Bronson Reed.
What a cool dude, man.
Chill. Super chill. It's almost, it's just night and day.
Right.
Yeah, like he seems like such a nice guy. And every time I see him, he's just
crushing people.
Yeah. I mean, he killed Ricochet.
Well, that was Breaker. He really.
I mean, yeah, okay. I'll give you that. That was Breaker. But, like, he killed Seth for a while.
Yeah, and Seth was like, I don't want
killed him again.
Yeah, which made sense. Like, if I'm Seth and you did that to me, I'm gonna be like, yeah, we should not work together.
Right.
We should be on the same side.
Yeah, I'm thinking about Bronson and Strowman when he hit him on the car.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking.
By the way, that was a hot matchup right there.
Yeah, come on. Thank God they didn't put all them bronze and like all them bronze together. That would just be insane.
Brawn.
But yeah, man, Bronson Reed, thank you so much. Super chill dude. Definitely would love to have another interview with him because he, if he didn't do wrestling, he was a theater kid. So I wanted to ask him a little bit about acting and some other things. So that's the whole point of this show. People could come back anytime they want, and then you just ask them the rest of the questions you had.
Right.
That is the inside baseball of us hosting this show.
All right, Survivor Series really quick, man. Like I said, we don't want to keep everybody too long because we know we got some turkey to eat tomorrow, probably today. What men's main event? What are you thinking?
The rule of thumb is when the last team that they show on top usually is the one that's going to fall.
Yeah.
They cut the camera off. Like they cut the cameras off before it really got down. Yeah. But I did see all the faces pouring prime on Logan Paul.
I did see that, yeah. So that means they were up
twice, 2 shows in a row.
So that means the heels.
That's kind of crazy, though. That's kind of crazy to have Roman, Punk, and Cody and Jay all take L's same night. That's wild.
And Big Jim.
Yeah, Big Jim. But like, as far as
World
those
champions
4 are the
yeah.
like, you know, they're the
top
who
baby
the
faces.
internet says never loses.
Yeah.
You know,
They're the top baby faces.
yeah.
You know?
So that's wild.
That's wild. But one thing, I'm just going to make a prediction on that. I don't know, heel or face, but someone's going to turn in this match. Someone's turning.
Ooh.
I don't know who.
Ooh.
I don't know what side. Not a spoiler. Because I don't know.
Yeah.
Just a prediction.
Just a prediction.
All right.
Here you go with
That's
this.
my creative liberties. It's
the most dangerous segment in sports entertainment.
Somebody on one of these 2 Survivor Series teams is going to flip. Like I said, I don't know who, but you can almost guarantee it.
Okay. I mean, it's Survivor Series. It is a part of the Big 4.
So on the women's side, we have.
Yeah.
On the face side, we have Rhea Ripley.
Yep.
EO!
EO.
Sky.
Crazy.
We have Alexa Bliss. We have Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
And we have AJ Lee.
Not bad.
Taking on the heel team
Yeah.
of the Kabuki Warriors, the women's tag team champions. Nia Lynch. Or
Yeah.
Nia Lynch.
Nia
I'm
Lynch.
combining.
Yeah.
Becky Lynch.
Yep.
Nia Jax.
Yeah.
Lash Legend.
Lash Legend. This is going to be a coming out party
Coming
for
out
her.
party.
Yeah. She's going to show that they are going to showcase her in this match.
Nia Lynch.
Nia Lynch sounds scary as hell. But I got the faces on this one.
You do?
I got the faces on this one. Just because I don't know if they show AJ Lee losing yet.
That's true.
I don't know. You know, like I feel like it would be able to. Becky complaining is just good TV.
By the way, Becky is so money right now.
Yeah.
Like she's kind of
In her
morphing
bag.
into Becky Trump a little with
Yeah.
her.
I had a tweet about that a couple months ago. Trump Becky is best Becky.
Wow. She is just the way she was gaslighting everybody about like Asuka, how they've had battles and, you know, she took her to her brink. But I beat you about 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
And then Kyrie, I saved your life. And then Nia, you're strong. You're strong. Not as strong as me, but you're strong.
Yeah. You broke my face, but I have strong bones.
Yeah, I have strong bones. And then last, you know, if you just stick with me, you'll be a star. Like Becky's doing
Her
top
team.
notch. We're her team, right? So I don't know. I'm gonna go with the Hill team here, man.
Okay.
Yeah,
I feel that.
I think the Hills are gonna win.
Yeah, either way, it should be. And also, we got John Cena versus Dom.
Mysterio.
I think Dom takes that.
Look,
It's his title.
There's a good chance that Dom wins back the Intercontinental Champion at home in San Diego. But for some reason, I kind of feel like that last match that John Cena has coming up, why take the title off of him? Should be a title match, the last match. So,
Man, I was really
we'll see.
pushing for Carmelo.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, you know who I was pushing for, man. And,
Yeah, I know.
And I don't know. I guess
Ruler.
you don't like money. I guess you like leaving, you know, copious amounts of money sitting on the table.
Hey, I need to listen to you more.
The ruler.
The ruler. Ooh. Obafemi.
All right.
Yeah, man.
All right, let's get out of here.
Yeah, we got to get up out of here. Just want to say that enjoy your Thanksgiving.
Yeah, appreciate
we are
you guys.
thankful for every single one of you who listens, who watches, who comments even. We appreciate everybody who retweets all the wrestling blogs and things that take our clips and spread the word. And
Appreciate that. We need that.
yeah, everybody who is a part of the No Contest Wrestling family, and that's what you
international.
are.
You know what I'm saying?
We're
We're
international. Been around the world, and
I know what's up in London.
yeah, we are. I'm thankful for everybody who's a part of this. Don Bowie, I'm thankful for you. RJ, thankful for you. Rich Eisen, thankful for you. My man TJ, of everybody, man.
D-Lo.
D-Lo.
Del
Jordan.
Tufo.
Wait, you said Jordan?
Jordan's doing it today.
Jordan, Felly.
Jay
Yeah,
Felly, our boy.
Jay Felly.
You know, everybody, man. Sean Mitchell working the YouTube. He keeps his.
Yep. Sarah, who do my makeup.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sarah,
Thank you,
because
Sarah.
you be getting this ugly off. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Liz, you be getting the door for me. You be cussing me out because I do be taking the snacks.
Well, that's what Liz does. She cusses.
But yeah, man, I'm grateful for
Everyone, man.
Everybody, man. Thankful for everybody, dude. TJ, love you, bro.
Yeah, and here's how you watch us, right? Let's make sure you get this right. Twitter and X, there's no contest. Instagram, No Contest Wrestling Podcast. TikTok, No Contest Wrestling Pod. YouTube, go to the Rich Eisen Show YouTube page. Search No Contest. You'll find all of our videos. Make sure to subscribe, like everything on the pods, on the ESPN app, on the Apple, Spotify, everywhere you see or listen to us, man. That's what's up.
You black bastard.
That's kind of rude on Thanksgiving, bro.
I almost called you a slur. We'll see you guys next week. Make sure y'all have a good day, but not too good. Because who the hell do you think you are? Bye, Miss Parker.